hope you're doing good. Running this channel is really difficult, but I do it because I love it. I'm going to do final predictions for UFC Fight Night, Brendan Moreno versus Amir Albazi. Uh, yeah. This, to be honest, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. No, the internet shouldn't do this to me. Um, I can't even see myself properly. Maybe it's the color of the shirt that I'm wearing. Anyway, this is going to be a very tricky card. A gamer of games, hello. You think Umfield is a good bet for this card? Uh, you know what? Let me check for you. I haven't gotten there. I'm still starting, but let me check. Jared Umfield. I think so. I think he's a really decent pick, but the problem with him is that I feel like the fight is going to be very close. Even though I think he's going to have a bit of an advantage almost everywhere, I'd give the power and reach to what do you call him, Siri CD. But as far as I think that every single fight on this card is going to be very risky, but Armfield is one of the ones that I would feel like if you wanted to take a risk, he's one of the few people that I feel like they could actually get it done. Anyway, a couple of people are coming on, so let me actually start because I haven't actually started breaking down the entire card. So, but the full disclaimer, game of games. I bet 400 on him. Hopefully he get it done. Man, $400 is a lot of money, man. But I mean, there are so many risky fights on this card that it's hard for me to actually like. If I was going to give anyone any advice, it would be just stay away from this card. It's giving me UFC Noche vibes. I have nightmares about UFC Noche. So this card, this whole entire card for me feels like UFC Noche. I feel like a lot of predictors are going to do very badly on this card. So yeah, if you look at my safe and risky picks, I think Garen Downfield defines it a KO. Okay, gamer of games. Once upon an oil fest. I love this name. Once upon an oil fest also thinks that Amfield is going to get this one done. Um, so at least that's reassurance. Just for reference, once upon an oil fest, his picks have been decent most recently. When he started on the channel, he was like me at the beginning. Like he had really bad picks and then he improved. So recently, like he's been very consistent with his picks. So I think if he says he feels a little bit confident, I think maybe you can trust it a little bit. I feel like this card is a trap. Um, Real sports bet picks. I don't think Anfield's going to get the W. Okay. I mean, this is a tricky. Like to be honest, on this card, I'm not going to even dispute with a lot of people. I know that this card is going to be UFC Noche Part 2, so I'm not going to even argue with anyone who disagrees with my picks because I know it's going to be a wild card. A lot of the people on this card are very risky. Actually, I'll respond once I'm done. Before I ramble on, let me actually get to actually the breakdowns, the predictions basically. Um, Jack Shaw versus Yusuf Zalal. My subscribers and I went with Yusuf Zalal. I don't feel very confident. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. So basically, I feel like on the feed it's going to be a bit evenly matched. I think Jack Shaw is a bit better offensively. I think he's a little bit more accurate. I think he is going to be throwing a little bit more volume. Whereas I feel like Yusuf Zalal is a little bit better defensively. He's harder to hit. So on the feet, that's why I feel like it's going to be more or less evenly matched. Obviously, the power is going to go to Jack Shaw, and then the what do you call it? The reach goes to Yusuf Zalal. So on the feet, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to be 50-50. When it comes to the ground, you know what? My subscribers and I picked Yusuf Zalal, but I feel like Jack Shaw has a shot at winning this fight. Um, so yeah, I'm really worried about my pick of Yusuf Zalal. I'm not gonna lie about that because I feel like Jack Shaw has a shot. But my subscribers and I have gone with Yusuf Zalal. We're sticking with it. And my subscribers feel like this is going to end in a decision. On to the next one. Jamie Lynn Hoth versus Ivan Petrovic. My subscribers and I went with Ivan Petrovic. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. I mean, it's women's MMA, so that's highly possible. On the feed, another risky fight. On the feed, I honestly feel like Jamie Lynn Hoth is going to have the advantage. I think she's basically better almost everywhere. So this is gonna be a very tricky fight. I picked Ivan Petrovic. Uh, I'm also worried about this pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be bad, guys. Like, if you value your money, just stay away from this card. This is gonna be a bad card. Like, just mark my words. This is gonna be a bad card. For predictions, this is gonna be a terrible card. I'm not gonna lie to you. So on the feed, I feel like Jamie Lynn Hoth is going to be better. On the ground, let me see. Obviously, I think Ivan Petrovic is going to be a little bit better. For me, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. It's hard for me to actually. I don't know. One has the advantage on the ground. One has the advantage on the feed. Um, but based on my research, I feel like Ivan Petrovic probably does a little bit better than Jamie Lynn Hoth. It's women's MMA, so I honestly don't know if I should really be confident about this one. Um, Hi everyone, I'll respond to everyone in the comment section once I'm done breaking down the fight. So I went with Ivan Petrovic. My subscribers went with Ivan Petrovic, but honestly, I'm not confident. I'm not confident. Once again, I'm going to repeat this. This is going to be a very horrible card for anyone who's going to put money on any fight on this card. So proceed with caution. If you're going to put your money on any fight, and I mean literally any fight on this card, just know that there's a high probability you're going to lose it because this is an insane card. I only do predictions because I have a channel on this particular card. But it's also a challenge for me to see how good I am because I truly, truly believe that this is going to be a wild card because the fights are extremely close. They are very closely matched. So this is going to be a very tricky, tricky fight. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, On to the next one: Chad and Heliga versus Cody Gibson. My subscribers and I, or rather, my subscribers went with Chad and Heliga. I went with Cody Gibson. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Um, on the feed, once again, they are going to be evenly matched on this fight. It's worrying. I'm not gonna lie to you. On the ground, I lead more towards Cody Gibson. I think he's going to be a little bit better. He has decent takedowns. He has decent takedown defense. I think he shoots a little bit more takedowns than Chad and Halliger. So on the ground, I'd favor Cody Gibson. On the feet, I think it's going to be evenly matched. So because of that, I feel like if the fight stays standing, Cody Gibson will be able to survive. But if the fight goes to the ground, I'm leaning more towards Cody Gibson. So I went with Cody Gibson. My subscribers went with Chad and Halliger. Another risky fight. This is gonna be terrible. Anyway, I picked Cody Gibson. My subscribers went with Chad and Halliger. I'm going to respond to everyone, I promise. Unless my battery just gives out while I'm responding. But I'm going to respond to everyone, I promise. If you stay on the chat, I'll make sure I respond to everyone. Anyway, I went with Gibson. My subscribers went with Angelica. On to the next one. Sirhi City versus Garrett Armfield. My subscribers and I went with Garrett Armfield. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Um, um, yeah, man, this is going to be a very worrying card for me. Anyway, and I'm coming off of 11 out of 13. So I hope this card does not kick my butt. Like, I like that 11 out of 13 from UFC 308. I'm coming off of like a really good high. I just hope this card does not derail my momentum. So anyway, I feel like Cody Gibson should win this fight, but the biggest problem about this particular fight is Cody Gibson, not Cody Gibson. What am I saying? Garrett Armfield. I think Garrett Armfield should be the better fighter here. I think this is one of the very few fights on the card that I'd be like, if I was going to risk a fight, this is probably one of them. But the problem with this fight is that it's very closely matched. The advantages that I feel like Garrett Anfield has are very slight. Like when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to volume, when it comes to like a variety of other things, it's little differences that, and when it comes to MMA, little differences can change depending on how good of a camp someone the comment section. Anyway, subscribers. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be closely matched, but I think Garrett Anfield will probably have the advantage in almost every single situation in the fight. Of course, CD has the power, CD has the reach, so that could influence a lot of things. But I feel like Garrett Anfield will have the advantage, slight advantage. It's not going to be massive, and because of the little difference in advantage, these differences can be influenced based on how good someone's camp was. You know, based on how good someone, or rather, how improved someone is going to be. So I feel a little bit more confident in this one. I'm not going to go as far as saying this is a lock or it's safe. Never. It's still risky. But if there was any fight that I would be like, one of any fights that I would be like, let me try and take a risk. This would probably be one of them. So yeah, we picked Garrett Anfield. Not very confident, but I'd be willing to risk it on Anfield. On to the next one. Alexander Romanov versus Rodrigo Nascimento. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in the first round. My subscribers and I went with Alexander Romanov. Uh, okay, I think Romanov should win this fight. Um, but he's been looking a little bit out of shape, so I don't know what's that about. But I think Alexander Romanov should actually win this fight. I think he's going to be better on the feet and on the ground. I feel like Nascimento is deceptively good for, I don't know, for the heavyweight division. Basically, he's deceptively good. Um, but for me personally, Just that Romanov is not very active, so it's hard to gauge how good he's going to be in the next fight because the only reference you have of his performance is like months ago, like a lot of time passes between his fights. So it's a really difficult fight to actually gauge as far as how good someone is going to be. Um, so, but based on research, I feel like Alexander Romanov should actually win this one. He's one of the other few fights that I feel like I'd probably risk it if I was going to put money on it. I'd probably risk putting it on Romanov. Still risky, still very risky, but I'd probably risk putting money on Romanov. Um, so yeah, but yeah, still risky. Um, anyway, on to the next one. Charles Jourdain versus Victor Henry. My subscribers and I went with Charles Jourdain. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Um, Close fight on the feet. I think it's going to be slightly even with the advantage. Um, with the advantage going to Charles Jourdain. I think Charles Jourdain will have the striking advantage. I think he has a little bit more power. He has reach. I think he's better defensively. It's harder to hit him. Victor Henry is a little bit more accurate. He throws a little bit more volume. So, but when you combine the fact that Charles Jourdain has the reach, the power, and the defense on the feet, I think um, the things that are in the comment section are crazy. So, so I think Charles Jourdain should actually win this fight. Because on the feet, I feel like he's going to have a slight advantage. Not a massive one, but a slight advantage. And then on the ground, I think he will be the better fighter. If he can take Victor Henry down, I think he's going to dominate the fight on the ground. Um, yeah, I think he's going to dominate if he can take the fight to the ground. So yeah, this is another one. If you watch my channel regularly, I do safe and risky picks, and then I give you the percentage of risk or safety of that particular fight. So this is one of the fights that I was like, it's 51% risky, still risky, but it was almost safe. But there were a variety of elements that influenced me to say, you know what, I'm not going to call this one safe. Because from now on, I want to make sure that every single fight that I say is safe is actually safe, which I think was the case on UFC 308. I can't recall the other cards. So I'm adjusting to make sure that whenever I say a lock, and every single lock of mine on UFC 308 won, it was incredible. So I'm trying to make sure that whenever I say someone is a lock, they actually are a lock. The probability of them losing are significantly low. So that's what I'm trying to do. But I think Charles Jourdain should actually win this one. If he doesn't, I mean, I don't know what to say then. But yeah, on to the next one. Ariane Lipski versus Jasmine Jasu Davicius. My subscribers and I went with Jasmine. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Even the Charles Jourdain fight, my subscribers feel like it's going to end in a decision. Um, what's going to happen in this fight? I think if Jasmine wants to have any success, she has to take this fight to the ground. Um, on the feet, it's going to be close, like 50-50 close. So I feel like if Jasmine wants to win this fight, the safest path to victory is to take the fight to the ground. Um, yeah, this card. I'm having flashbacks of UFC Noche. I don't want to lie. But, but my subscribers and I went with the Jesse Davicius. I guess we'll see what happens. But I feel like Ariana Lipski, I'm not underestimating Ariane Lipski. I think Lipski has been Uh, it's the Silva now, but like it's odd for me to call her that. Um, so I think Lipski has been improving significantly, and the person I think she lost to Karini Silva, and Karini Silva is a really decent fighter. I think she is potentially going to be a title contender at some point in her career. So losing to Karini Silva is not that bad. Actually, it's not even that bad. It's like saying you lost to, okay, I can't compare it to Hamza Chimaev, but she lost to a really decent fighter. Karini Silva is a decent fighter, so it's not a bad loss. So Lipski is improving. I'm not very confident in Jasmine winning this particular fight because Lipski could come into that fight very improved. But my subscribers and I are going with Jasmine. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. On to the next one. Ayman Zahabi versus Pedro Munoz. My subscribers and I went with Zahabi. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Okay, on the feed, I feel like Zahabi will probably dominate. On the ground, I think Pedro Munoz is going to have the advantage. So this is going to be uh, a very tricky fight because Pedro Munoz has the ability to be a good fighter, give you a heart attack, and then sometimes he just allows himself to lose fights. Um, and once upon an oil fest was busy saying, once upon an oil fest is busy calling Kyla Phillips a wuss. I don't know why. Oh, this dude is ungovernable. So he lost to Kyla Phillips, and we saw how Kyla Phillips looked against Rob Font. And I'm not saying Rob Font is a scrub or anything like that, but Rob Font is old now. Like Kyla Phillips should have run through him. That was a bad performance, like really horrible performance in hindsight. Um, I don't know, man. I think Zahabi is going to be able to get it done. Um, if he can keep it on the feet. That's probably the only way he wins this fight. On the ground, Pedro Munoz is going to dominate. On the feet, I think he might be able to knock out Pedro Munoz. But on the ground, it's gonna be a serious problem for him. Um, like this card is just draining me. But my subscribers and I are going with Zahabi. um, I guess we'll just wait and see. But my predictions are good, so that's the fortunate part about this whole thing, is that I don't just pick anyone. My predictions are normally good. Um, so on a bad night like this one, I don't know. I might. There are 14 fights, so I anticipate that I don't know, maybe I might get 8, 9, or even 10 maybe out of 14. But I'd say maybe 9, um, because cards like this are very tricky, so they normally kick my butt. So I probably maybe get like 9 or 10 out of 14. But let me not jinx myself. Who knows? Um, but I think I have decent picks. My biggest problem is that the fights are very close. That's the biggest problem. In some fights, like for example Hamza Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker, that's why I was so confident in Hamza Chimaev, because I could see that it's not even close. And even though people were questioning why I was saying this fight is safe, I could see it's not going to be close. Even the Ilya Tuporia fight, I knew it wasn't going to be close. So there are certain fights whereby you can clearly see that this is not going to be close, and there are those that you look at, like this is not going to end very well for someone. Um, but yeah, I went with Zahabi. On to the next one, Mike Malott versus Trevin Giles. My subscribers and I went with Mike Malott. The subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in the second round or via decision. This is a coin flip. Like, It's not. I'm not even going to lie to you. Um, this is a coin flip. Yeah, it's a coin flip. But I feel like I'm leaning more towards Mike Malott, largely because I feel like he is more of a finisher. Even though he lost to Neil Magny, uh, which is a bad loss, especially if you're talking about being like the best fighter from Canada or being a future champion, and then you lose to Neil Magny, who is basically a gatekeeper. Like, if you lose to Neil Magny, it means you're not that good. But nonetheless, I honestly don't feel like Mike Malott is going to lose twice in a row in his hometown, um, or rather home country. So I honestly don't feel like he's going to lose. I think he's a bit more of a finisher. Um, but on the feed, actually, let me actually on the feed. I think Trevin Giles is going to have the advantage. Surprisingly, I think Mike Malott might have a bit more success if he takes the fight to the ground. But on the feed, I think Mike Malott might have a bit of trouble. So the comment section is hilarious. I can't wait to respond to you guys. Um, so yeah, on the feed, Trevin Giles is going to have the advantage. I feel, and then on the ground, I think Mike Malott. But Mike Malott has power, so that's how he's been winning fights. But when we talk about technical striking, I think it's going to be Trevin Giles. On the ground, I think it's going to be Malott. So I guess we'll see. I don't see Malott losing twice in a row, um, but we'll see. On to the next one: Mark Andre Barrios versus Dustin Stoltzfus. My subscribers and I went with Mark Andre Barrios. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end with a decision. Another fight like the Mike Malott fight. On the feet, I feel like Mark Andre is going to be better. On the ground, I'd give the advantage to Dustin Stoltzfus. Slightly. But I feel like I'm not very confident in this particular fight. I know Dustin is not that great. He was knocked out in his last fight, né? So I think Marc Andre is looking a little bit better. His last fight was a little bit more decent than Dustin. He looked a little bit more solid. But skill for skill, I feel like they there's they have an advantage in distinct areas, in my opinion. I feel like on the feet it's Mark, on the ground it might be Dustin. Um, so this is gonna be bad, guys. this is gonna this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad, guys. This is gonna be bad. Just avoid this card, guys. Like you know, this is gonna be bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Caio Machado versus Brandison Ribeiro. My subscribers and I went with Brandison Ribeiro. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in the first round or via decision. Another problematic fight. Caio is going to be better on the feet, without a doubt. The only thing on the feet that I feel like Ribeiro has, even though I'm picking, I like to be honest about what I think. I'm picking Ribeiro, but I'm not confident. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not confident because Ribeiro, the only thing I feel like Ribeiro has on the feet is power. Power and reach. That's the only thing he has. He can dominate on the ground, but apart from that, it's gonna be a bad night for him if he can't take Caio Machado down. So the only thing to be honest, the only thing I see for Ribeiro on the feet is power. And that's it. Power and reach. That's it. Unless he comes in improved, I think Caio Machado has the ability to piece him up and I don't know, get a decision. I think that's why my subscribers are split in between. And I think that's why they are saying it's going to be the first round or decision. Because I think Ribeiro probably wins the if the fight ends in the first round. But if it goes to a decision, I could see Caio Machado actually winning this fight. So I'm not very confident. Um, not gonna lie to you. This is bad. This is bad. So yeah, my subscribers and I are officially picking Ribeiro. Um, not very confident. On to the next one. Derek Lewis versus Jonata Diniz. My subscribers went with Derek Lewis. I went with Jonata Diniz. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in the first round. Let's see. I mean, Jonata Diniz is a former kickboxer. He's going to be taller. I think he has a little bit more. I know that Derek Lewis has incredible power, but I think Denise also has power. So I could see him avoiding the wild swings of Derek Lewis. Plus, Derek Lewis is getting older. So his ability to actually withstand a lot of the things that he was able to. I feel like if Derek Lewis cannot finish you early, he's going to have a serious problem. But like my subscribers are feeling, it's going to end in the first round. So I agree with that to some extent. But I honestly think maybe the second round, not the first round. I feel like maybe Denise picks him apart and then hurts him a little bit, slows him down, and then maybe finishes him in the second round. That's how I see the fight going. I just feel like Denise will be better. Derek Lewis has power, and I see that he is losing weight. He's trying to be a little bit faster, and he looked good in his previous fight. And even when he's taken down, he's sadly. I wish he was doing this earlier in his career. He looks decent. Like being able to survive against Almeida. Okay, Almeida is a little bit small, but you get my point. He's looking a little bit decent than he used to. So he's definitely improving, but age is not on his side. And on top of that, he's fighting a kickboxer. Lewis does well. Look at what the Cyril Gahn did to him. And I'm not saying Jonathan Deniz is Cyril Gahn, but if you can pick, if you're a kickboxer, I think you can implement the strategy that Cyril Gahn implemented against Derek Lewis, especially for someone who has power like Jonathan Deniz. Derek Lewis, I've seen him shoot takedowns, so maybe he might have success there. He might surprise us. Um, Let me see. I think Jonathan Dennis should actually win this fight. I wouldn't be shocked if he loses. Uh, this card has broken my spirit. I'll be happy if I get like 9 out of 40. Actually, 10. 9 is too low. It is 10 on this card. So, yeah. On to the next one. Rosna Mayunez versus Erin Blanchfield. My subscribers went with Rosa Mayunez. I went with Erin Blanchfield. Um, Obviously, Rosna Mayunez is going to be the better striker, but I feel like Erin Blanchfield. It was a bad strategy, but she was trying against Manon Fiorot, and a lot of people think Erin Blanchfield did not have success against Manon Fiorot, largely because I don't know, because she was huge. And I tell a lot of people it's not because of that. The problem is Erin Blanchfield trained the striking. You can tell when someone how what someone's game plan was in the fight. From the beginning, I think Erin Blanchfield was fooled and I was frustrated, I remember, and I don't know why I'm picking her. But still, I was frustrated because you can tell what someone's strategy and game plan was coming into the fight based on how they fight in that particular fight. It's clear that after having success against Jessica and George, They thought, oh my God, we can strike. So let's go and strike and show the world that we are not just restless and strike with my non-fear rod. And then they were like, no, we are good wrestlers. We have that in our back pocket as plan B. So they worked on the striking, which was a stupid idea. I remember being frustrated. I remember saying that I hope she changes her coaches because they misled her. That was a bad decision. If you are good on the ground, why not enhance that? Look at Hamza Chimaev. You know what he's going to do, and he's not hiding it, and he actually does it. Look at what Habib was doing. You know his game plan, but he still actually does the game plan, even if you know what he's going to try to do. So if you're good at something, why not work on that instead of trying to strike? I don't know why she wasn't bringing in bigger ladies. Because a lot of people were arguing that um, Manon Firod is a little bit bigger. That's why she couldn't take her down. Then why not bring bigger ladies? Like train with, I don't know, bantamweights or what do you call it? Flyweights. I don't know. Get someone heavier or train with guys. Train with lightweights, like lightweight men, in order to get used to taking someone heavy down, finding ways to take that person down. It was one of the most horrible strategies. Erin Blanchfield is not a good striker, but the reason I'm picking her, Carla Esparza made Rosna Mayunez give us one of the most boring fights in history, and it was largely because of Carla Esparza's grappling. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Okay, I know everyone remembers that. It was a boring fight. So, if Carla Esparza can make Rose pull, throw so little, I feel like Erin Blanchfield's grappling is going to have the same effect in this particular fight. I think Rosna Mayunez is going to be a little bit more careful. I don't think she's going to throw as often as she used, or rather as often as she normally does. I think she's going to avoid throwing a lot of kicks because she won't want Erin Blanchfield to catch them. I think a lot of Rosna Mayunez's striking is going to be neutralized because she's going to avoid being taken down. And because of that, I feel like it might give. Plus, I think Erin Blanchfield is a little bit bigger than Rosna Mayunez. So, in all honesty, for me personally, I feel like this fight is Carla Esparza versus Rosna Mayunez part two, or was it part three, somewhere there. So, I think this fight is going to look the same. Rose is going to have very low output. She's not going to throw a lot of kicks because she doesn't want to get taken down. Um, and then that's going to give Erin Blanchfield an opportunity to win. Erin Blanchfield is an elite grappler, and I hope her team is pushing her to work on the wrestling. You can improve your striking, but don't try to implement something that you're still working on against someone who's been doing that. It's like going into a fight with Alex Pereira. I'll forever make this example. It's like every stupid person who's ever been in the octagon with Alex Pereira and say, I'm going to strike with him. Why not grapple? Like there's an advantage there waiting for you. Why are you not using it? Like it's stupid. So I hope she's working on the grappling. I think she can win if her camp is concentrated on taking down Rose Namajunas. I think she's going to have success. Um, the last fight on the card, and then I'll respond to everyone in the comment section. Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. My subscribers feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Um, let's see who wins this fight. I think Brandon Moreno is going to win. Um, I don't feel very confident. I think on the feed it's going to be a coin flip, but with a slight advantage. I think when it comes to technique, I'll give a slight advantage to Brandon Moreno. Even though Amir Albazi is the grappler here, I think didn't Moreno submit Davison Figueiredo? So I don't think Moreno is going to be too lost on the ground. I wouldn't even be surprised if he somehow finds a way to be a bit more successful offensively on the ground. Um, so yeah, I think it's going to be close on the feet, with a slight advantage to Brandon Moreno. And on the ground, I don't feel like Amir Albazi is going to dominate Moreno. Um, I don't know, man, but Albazi is a dog, man. I don't know what he's been doing. I don't like his inactivity, but he's been. I mean, look at what Kai Kara France was doing. Or rather, look at how he performed against Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg. That just goes to show how difficult it was to actually finish um, Kai Kara France. So I'm saying Brandon Moreno. I feel like he has more ways to win. I wouldn't even be surprised if he dominates on the ground. Not dominate, but if he has success on the ground, because a lot of people going into this fight are feeling like Albazi is going to win on the ground, and then Moreno is going to win on the feet. But I feel like Moreno has a shot on the ground, and Albazi has a big shot on the feet. Like Albazi could shock us and just knock him out or dominate on the feet. Right? He has that ability. I don't think people realize that. But I feel like Moreno has more ways to win. But this is gonna be a close fight. So once again, if you value your money, guys, if you value your money, don't put it on this card, on any fight on this card. Unless if I saw someone in the comment section saying he won like 1,000. Someone also texted me and was like, I won like 5,000 last week on UFC 308. So they're like, I'm going to just maybe take out $100 or $200 and just risk it on some of the fights. I feel confident. If you have a lot of money that you won, I mean that's smart. You don't have to risk too much. But parlays are not gonna work out really well on this card. It's better to just look at individual fights that you feel like. But maybe parlays might work. But on this card, to be honest, I will compare this card to UFC Noche. Majority of anyone, even the best predictors, did horribly, including myself. So this is giving me UFC Noche vibes. So I would advise, if you don't have the money, guys, just stay away from it, guys. And one other thing, I never say this. Gamble responsibly, guys. I love all of you. I don't want you guys to lose money or anything like that. I don't even encourage gambling. I'm actively avoiding. That's why you don't see me partnering with gambling companies or whatever the case is, because I don't want to encourage it. But I know that that's what you guys are doing. Just do it responsibly. I beg you. That's one of the reasons why I've been saying, if you win money, manage it smartly. Like if you win, like let's say you win 1,000, don't then take 500 or 700 and then put it back or spend it somewhere. Make it into like an investment. If you won 1,000, then maybe save, I don't know, 40% of that, and then maybe take 30% of that to spend on yourself, do whatever you want, and then take the other 30% and reinvest it into your predictions, or rather your betting, so that even if you lose that money, you saved 40%. You can take a little bit from that and then try to recover. But if you are just doing it in J for, then you're not going to be successful. Anyway, let me respond to your comments before my battery says goodbye. And it's about, okay, it's on 34. I think I can respond to almost everyone. But there's so many messages. Oh my flipping damn. But once upon an oil fest, I love this name. I think Garrett Anfield finds a KO. I think I responded to this one. Um, Once upon an oil fest. I feel like this card is a trap. I agree with you. Tweezy Rich, what's the odds on Zalal? I feel he wins. I'm worried about Zalal, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really worried about Zalal. Once upon an all fest, Zalal is minus 255 or something. Okay, that's pretty decent. Real sports bad picks. Zalal should win. Yeah, I think so, but it still worries me. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Tweezy Rich, I thought the odds was closer to be honest. Yeah, me too. I think Jack Shaw might actually get the upsets to be honest. Real sports bad picks. Jack got dropped by Ricky. Okay. Once upon an all affairs, the also Jack Shaw is gonna be outsized here. He should have went to bantamweight. Yeah, I agree with that. Jack Shaw is in a bum though. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm worried. I don't think he's a bum, and he could surprise a lot of us. Um, Real sports bad picks. I would say I would say Jack does have a shot. I'm worried about Jack taking that shot and getting the dub, but Zalal showed in his last fight. Um, he's here. He's UFC level. Okay, I agree with that, but I'm still worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. Real sports bets plus 3.5. Three, okay, the female dog deserves points. Okay. Oi, oi, funny guy. Welcome to the stream, my dude. Twizzy Rich. I'm leaning to Jamie Lynn Hoth. You know what? I wouldn't blame you, man. Even my research worries me. I feel like Jamie Lynn is a tricky fight. But I think Ivan is going to Petrovic. I'm butchering these people's names. I'm sorry. Tweezy Rich, Nali Young is a free win, and Luana went 50-50 on control time with Ivan, which is supposed to be her strength. Damn, solid argument. Funny guy, low confidence Ivana. Hoth is pretty decent in clinch defense, and that's bad when Ivana wants to clinch, then take her down from there. Yeah, that's true. Solid point. Once upon an elephant, Gibson squeaks this out using his size advantage. I would say, but 90% risky. Yeah, I agree with that. Everything is risky. 100%, my dude. Like, this fight is, like, wild. Like, really wild. Funny guy, I hope the dog in Angelica doesn't come out this fight. Gibson. I hope the dog and all the people who I said would lose do not come out this card. Twizy Rich Gibson, but 100% risky. I'm with you there. Funny guy, did is that you? Once upon an oil fest, do you like being called Diddy? Like, what's wrong with you, dude? Look. Wow. Change your name, dude. Like, once upon an oil fest is fine. Just do it everywhere. You see, funny guy is now calling you Diddy. Like, do you like being called Diddy? Yes, I'm here to oil. Wow. And then now you're talking about oils, and they're not related. I'm sure you're referencing something MMA Guru said. And now you know that Diddy was busy with baby oils, right? Like now you're saying you're here to oil me up. Change your change your name, dude. Funny guy. I'm going with CD. This fight cause of reach, and Anfield stands there and gets hit. But Anfield has power advantage maybe and could knock down City, but I hope not. Nah, man. I don't know, man. I feel a little bit. It's possible. I'm not going to refuse that. That's a possibility, but I think Anfield should actually win this one. Funny guy. Romanov looks good. He wins, but he lost his last grappling match via ankle hook. Okay, that's actually reassuring because I was also worried about Nascimento's grappling. So to hear that he's having grappling matches outside the UFC is really reassuring. Outside UFC, once upon an offense, Romanov might lose to obesity. This dude is crazy, man. Funny guy, he might. I have severe doubts for Romanov. I'm skipping him and the first girls fight. Yeah, smart move, man. Once upon an all first, Jordan might actually kill himself making bantamweight. That could play a factor in how he performs. Damn, that's actually a good point. Twizy Rich, Albazi, Moreno over plus Shaw Zalal over equals minus 107. Okay, Twizy out here giving you odds. Once upon an oil first, Twizy, bro, figure out a winning parlay for this card. Twizy, blood trying to make money. Blood trying to make money. Once upon an oil first, Lipsticky is dangerous off her back. Another 100% risky fight. I think Jasmine should win though. I'm agreeing. I'm with you there. Funny guy, Jasmine is them takedowns. The queen of damage has been striking pretty good takedown defense, but she was taken down big by I forgot her name. That girl looks like. But that girl who looks like a microphone. You guys, I'm no longer going to read the comments, guys. The things that once I get monetized, I'm not reading your comments, guys. You guys will get me demonetized. And I don't mean to laugh at these comments, but that's my sense of humor. I don't want someone 10 years from now to say I was busy bullying people online. You guys, I'm reading comments, right? Like, and my sense of humor says it's funny. You know, why would you say that? Like, why would you say anyway? He says he doesn't know who this girl is, but let me read this comment again. Funny guy. These people in the comment section have spoiled you. You used to be a good person. Now look at the things that you're saying. Point and oil first ruined you. Like, he really ruined you, dude. He's teaching you wrong things. Jasmine needs the takedowns, but she was taken down by big by I forgot her name. That girl that looks like a microphone. Let me stop reading this comment. I'm not gonna finish. Oh my god! Wow, that's it, Karim. Um, once upon an offense, and the Jasmine has good the G, and so yeah, she definitely needs to take Liski down, ground and pound. If for those who don't know what that means, funny guy indeed. Twizy Rich, I agree. This is a hard fight for Jasmine. Before the Karini fight, Lipski was on a long streak of perfect takedown defense. Yeah, Twizy Rich, not sure who to pick yet. Funny guy, I'd go with Jasmine if I was you, but she needs to keep her there. Once upon an oil fest, Kyla Phillips was running away from Rob Font, who is an old ass dude. If he wrestled more, he would have won. Must have danced. Twizy Rich Pedro Munoz is the reason I didn't sweep the O'Malley versus Sterling card. I can't remember how I did, but I remember picking Sean O'Malley in that particular card. Once upon an oil fest, the terrible performance from Kyla Phillips, especially when I faded him before for bad cardio, but when he seemed improved, um, it and trusted him, he beat an Oh, when I trusted him to beat an old man, he guesses. Once upon an all first man, I hope at least I get the 6 out of 40. Why 6? That's low, man. No betting for me. Smart move, man. Funny guy. That's how you know you are preparing for failure. So am I. Yeah, I'm laughing, but I'm going to be depressed if things don't go my way. I'm very competitive, so I put in a lot of work in my predictions. I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm winning this card. Um, Even though it's a risky fight or a risky card, I'm putting it out there. I'm going to get it. At least 10 out of 14. Let's go. Twizy Rich, I got a feeling Giles will be winning them boom KO. That's possible, man. Like I said, I feel like Giles is going to be a little bit better on the feed. So it's possible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's not possible. Once upon an all first, at least I have improved so much. I can see terrible cards. I think I will feel better about getting 3 out of 40 this time. No trick card destroyed me because I was expecting to get good picks. Yeah, that surprised me as well. Yakuza Zaku. Anyone is safe card this Saturday? No man, there's no safe pick on this card, my dude. Once upon an oil fest, I think Officer Giles is a humongous, massive, and absolute sure log of the card. Just kidding. Stop misleading people in the comment section. This dude. Funny guy. As long as I don't lose my money on the picks I choose, I do not care if my predictions are wrong. This card, I'm skipping through fights so far for the fights to win. Okay, that's fair. I mean, as long as you're making money, that's what's important. Stoltz Foods wins this one, I think. It's possible. Tweezy Rich, I felt like Stoltz Foods looked better last time. But Ferreira's a can compared to Pfeiffer. That's harsh, but okay. Funny guy, Stolfus is the better wrestler, and if he sticks to game plan, he can win. Yeah, I agree. B, what do you think about Hamza versus Pereira? I think Hamza is too good on the ground, man. That wouldn't end well for Pereira. Hamza's too good on the ground. He wouldn't even. That fight wouldn't stay standing for more than 30 seconds. He's going to take him down. Twizere Chikayo down a class is interesting. Yeah, I agree. Funny guy, Hamza wrestles Pereira around one sub. I agree. Funny guy, Ribeiro, I'm skipping this fight. That's my third fight I'm skipping. Yeah, smart move, man. A lot of the fight, that's why I've been telling people, like, the safest thing to do is just skip every single fight on this card just to save yourself the losses because I see a lot of losses on this card. Um, Once upon an oil fest, the Kayo Bigfoot Machado has remarkably transcended his former existence as an immense, indulgent, and exceedingly corpulent figure, emerging now in a state of improved physical condition. Your comments are horrible, guys. Your comments are terrible. Like, they shouldn't be read. The funny guy, but Ribeiro, I think, wins. Rafael Oil First, basically, he isn't a fair. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna read what he said, like, but I'm not monetized yet. So I don't want to mess with my growth. But this dude, like, what's up on the oil fest? What are you saying? It was a reach the knees round one or round two KO. I agree, man. Once upon an Alfest, Denise gets hit a lot. That worries me. That's fair. That's why I was like, I'm not too confident. But I mean, Derek Lewis is a bit older. He might be a little bit slower. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. B, I mean, Hamza is a beast, but let's not forget that he could do the choke to Usman even if he was on his back. If he can't take Pereira to the ground, he would lose. Look at what Hamza Chimaev did to Robert Whittaker. You cannot compare Pereira to Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is an elite wrestler. Pereira is an elite kickboxer. Those are two different things. Robert Whittaker has a history of wrestling and he still lost. I think he hit Hamza Chimaev like three times or four times, a former champion. So it's not even going to be fair against Alex Pereira. And he's not going to struggle to take him down. Tuesday Rich, Lewis gives up as soon as something doesn't go his way and he won't try to grapple Denise. Lewis has made all of his money already. Yeah, I agree. Funny guy, Usman, welterweight, Hamza couldn't choke out Usman. Funny guy, middleweight, Hamza can. Okay. But Hamza was sick, and also he broke his arm in that particular fight. Once upon an oil fest. But Kamsa was a middleweight for that Usman fight, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. B. But I really think that Pereira should be different than Robert. No, man. Robert should have done better. If Robert performed like that, Pereira would lose terribly. He's on another level now, man. Connoisseur HQ, what's your opinion on the Germans? Islam Dulatov just got his UFC contract, and Abbas is growing in popularity too after his win. I don't know, man. I'm going to try to be politically correct, um, but I feel like Abbas needs to work on his cardio. I think he's a really good fighter, but the biggest problem is his cardio. And if he's not improving his cardio, I don't feel like he's going to go far. I was really high on Abbas Magomedov. I actually even picked him against Sean Strickland, um, and he was winning until his cardio gave out. So I think Abbas is a really good fighter. The other dude that you mentioned, I'm not really familiar with him, unfortunately, but I'm looking forward to seeing him in the UFC. So all in all, that's basically my opinion. I don't have a specific opinion about fighters from a specific region, except obviously the most dominant ones. Brazil, Russia are probably the biggest and most dominant countries in MMA right now. There are others that are emerging. So yeah, but I normally look at specific fighters and their style as opposed to where they come from. Funny guy, Lewis can trip Denise and the ground and pound him, but Denise can kick from far and hit Lewis with good distance combinations. But Lewis can hit Denise, clean Denise that does not move his head. That's a good point, man. Twizy Rich, honestly, me too. Um, Jamal SK retracted his message. Funny guy, Denise is slightly faster. I agree. B, let's not forget Nazrat Hakparast. What about Hakparast? Um, Once upon an oil fest, Islam Dulatov is a beast. I hope he doesn't get fraud checked because that's a great prospect Germany has. Wow, I wasn't even aware of that, man. Thank you for that. Jamal SK, when you gonna fight, brother Manilka? So I look like Manilka. Wow, I feel insulted. That's both racist and an insult, but you know what? That's fine. What can I say? I'm pretty sure if it was Walter B, I trained with him for nearly 7 years. B, I have to say that Germany has awesome fighters, but Islam Dulatov opponent wasn't that good. We will see in future, but I wish him all the best. Man, you train MMA. Are you a professional fighter, B? I actually want to get to a point whereby I can actually promote professional fighters, like upcoming professional fighters, but that time will come. Are you a professional fighter, dude, or are you just training for health and things like that, for self defense? Once upon an oil fest, I think Rose is good enough to keep the distance and stuff, the takedowns, but Blanchfield 1000% get takedown and will have Rose in trouble at some point. Yeah, funny guy. Blanchfield can win that 5 round. Rose isn't the same old Rose she used to be. Plus, Erin was fighting a giant in Manon Fiorot. Yeah, another thing, Rose left Trevor Whitman, so she hasn't looked as good since she did that. I don't know why. That was a bad move. The person who was misleading her is the dude that she's with. And obviously, because she's dating him, that's not the person she's going to blame. Funny guy, I think Rose gets taken down. I don't think she can bounce around for 25 minutes. Yeah. I just hope Aaron Blanchfield has a good game plan for this fight, which is basically grappling. Twizzy Rich, I can't really remember Rose being held down for very long, so I'm leaning her. Even when Rose fought Wei Li, physically didn't seem to struggle too bad against her. I disagree. I think the head kick helped Rose Namajunas, and in the rematch, the fight was a little bit closer. And we're talking about it. We're not talking about the current Wei Li. We're talking about the Wei Li that was still learning, that was still improving. I don't want to say Wei Li was an amateur at that point, but her wrestling was not that great. Her striking was still improving. She just had power, and she got the belt from Jessica Andrade. I mean, Jessica Andrade is not that great. Um, and Tuesday Rich, I can't really remember. Okay, I read this one. Funny guy. All she needs really is one takedown. You completely change the way the fight goes. One takedown with good damage, it will convince her to continue to approach the same way. I agree wholeheartedly. And I think once you can take someone down, you can fatigue them. And even how they strike, they might change, unless if you get tired, which I don't think is going to happen to Erin Blanchfield. So as long as you can control her for at least 1 round, I think it's going to influence how Rose fights. Twizy Reach, I'm sure Erin will take her down, but I feel she won't hold her there. Okay. B, can we talk about the politic and economy state in the world right now? Damn. Um, that's another topic, man. Funny guy, the blue hair, only fans girl. I forgot her name. The one that dunked Rose. Erin won the need to dunk Rose, but she will control her better than what her name. I can't believe I forgot. Tweezy, how the hell does Rose only fight the main and co-main? I don't know, man. It's odd. Guys, my battery is running out. I think I've responded to a significant portion. I wanted to respond to everyone, but it's on 6%. Once it gets to 4%, I'm bouncing, guys. Funny guy, Amanda, something. Um, Funny guy. Yeah, Blanchfield will concentrate on holding her. Twizy Rich, Moreno versus Albazi feels like a complete coin flip. I agree. Funny guy, Amir Albazi wins this one, I think. It won't be like a Kai Kara France fight. Moreno will never count him out, but I think Moreno gets taken down quite easily sometimes. Kai Kara France destroyed Albazi. Okay. Saad Kamali sent an emoji. Twizy Rich, Kai Kara France and Crown Champ, baby. Funny guy, I think they want to feed Albazi here, but I think Moreno was getting hurt by France until he got that KO. I agree with that. Moreno was losing that fight. Funny guy, I respect Kai Kara France highly. Tweezy, for some reason I feel I won't do bad on this card. Okay. Funny guy, Gibson City, Zalal, Malod, Blanchfield. Wow, okay. Walter D, any confident picks in the next UFC card? To be honest, I don't have any confident picks. Guys, my battery is on 4%. If I don't leave now, it's going to stay online for too long. If you want to talk to me, just comment in the comment section. I always respond. I'm surprised that so many people came onto the stream. At the highest, it was like 80. So that's a good sign. As always, I love and appreciate all of you. See you Friday for the upsets predictions or in the comment section. Until next time, I love and appreciate all of you. Deuces. My battery is low. I wanted to talk a little bit more. Just that I don't charge. I use the phone at work. So when I get home, I also have to use the phone to stream. So that's why my battery is sometimes not as low. But it gives me an hour, which is really good. Anyway, I have to leave, guys. I love you. See you in the comment section or Friday. Sharp.